Hey guys, what's up? It's been a few days since I recorded a video. I don't know why. It's been a little bit busy and I don't want to come up with any excuses. It's just that I don't want it to become like a rut or something. Like I want to make a video when I like really feel like making a video, so I can put my best foot forward and put in the right energy. And I think that's why I took a few days off. So in this video, I want to talk about the power of intention. And I started a new kind of experiment for myself to wake up and write down my intentions for the day. And the reason why I prefer this method over goal setting is that it makes a slight semantic difference for me. Like intention has kind of like a different meaning than goals for me somehow. I don't really know why. Like a goal for me is more something you kind of like strive towards, or it's like a kind of like an item on a checklist, right? But an intention is more like I generate the energy inside me to strive towards that in a kind of like a different way. It's like a slight difference in the way I feel about it, and I think it's all about finding tools and strategies that resonate with you as a person, right? So for some people, goal setting might work really well. I figured that intention setting is more effective. At least that's my first impression, because I've only been doing it for a few days. But I can already kind of like feel a different attitude towards my goals, which are actually my intentions, right? And so what I do is I wake up, and after writing my affirmations and my gratitudes, I now added my intentions for the day. So I start with my intentions for today are, and then it can be being a kind and compassionate person, paying attention to my body, working, being a little bit productive for my work, calling some friends, whatever it is, expressing my appreciation and admiration for my friends and family, for example, right? And so these are not super clearly defined things, although I could add some really clearly defined things. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but it's more like a kind of like a guideline for my day. So by setting these intentions at the start of the day, it's kind of like easier to make decisions during the day, right? Like whenever I feel like maybe I want to eat something unhealthy or something, like I think back to my intention that I set in the morning, where I tell myself my intention today is to take care of my body and to eat healthy, for example. And then I feel less of an urge to eat that unhealthy food, or it's easier for me to kind of say no to it, right? And so an extra thing that I want to add on top of this is that after writing down the intention for the day, I want to meditate on it. So my morning routine usually is I wake up, I write my gratitudes, affirmations, and now intentions, and then I go sit down and do a meditation. 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30, 40, it depends. A few months back I did like 30-40 because I was like very upset about my breakup, and I struggled a lot with kind of like the mental stability, if you will. Like my emotions were super volatile, and the meditation kind of like calmed me down. Now I feel like I'm less all over the place, right? So I kind of like reduced the amount of time that I meditate by 10-15 minutes. It feels better, because otherwise it's like 40 minutes. I kind of don't really want to do it, and I don't really want to make it like a chore, you know. I want to do it because it makes me feel good, and 40 minutes right now is a bit too long, so I reduced it to 25. And so after writing down the intentions, I go sit down and meditate on those. So I kind of like repeat them in my mind. What are my intentions for today? I want to be kind, I want to be supportive, I want to be healthy, I want to be productive, I want to work, I want to share, I want to express my appreciation, right? I think about those things, and you can do too. And by doing that, you reinforce your intentions and you kind of like memorize them a little bit. So whenever there comes a moment in your day, during your day, where you need to make a decision, you can then remember your intention for that day, and then it's easy to make the right decision, right? If you're thinking about, oh, should I call this friend or not? Well, if your intention is to express your gratitude or your appreciation for the people you love, then the answer is absolutely yes, right? So you just call the friend and you tell him or her that you appreciate them, right? Or if you feel unmotivated to do some work, you then remember your intention for today and you want it to be productive, so then you can pull yourself out of this demotivated state and just do a little bit, you know. It's so much easier. Like, it's interesting, like when I set the intentions in the start of the day, it's so much easier to make the right decisions. And of course, sometimes, like lately, I'm going through a phase where my motivation is not where it should be, and I know it's like a temporary thing, and I act regardless of my motivational state. Sometimes not, sometimes I procrastinate too long, right? I could change it and I could act quicker. However, it's also fine to allow yourself to slack off a little bit, you know, like as long as you don't keep it dragging on for days and days and days, and it's fine to take it a little bit easier from time to time, right? But the intention setting really allows me to remember what is important for me today, right? And it might do the same for you. So if you are struggling with goal setting, and if you don't really like to-do lists, or you know, like the concept of a goal that I have to achieve, then intention setting can be a very productive tool for you, because it's, I feel, less like demanding, or less like, I don't know how to describe, like authoritative, or it's more like boxed in. For me, the concept of a goal is more like boxed in, and an intention is more like a free kind of concept. And I resonate a lot more with freedom related concepts, you know, traveling, meeting lots of people, deciding what I want to do with my time whenever I want to do it, you know, working online, stuff like that. Freedom, to me, money, for example, it equals freedom. And so if you are a person that values freedom, then intention setting can be a very liberating concept for you. It can be a very freeing concept, because goals, to me, are more like a prison sometimes. Not necessarily, because of course I have my personal goals, and it's important to be clear on your goals. However, I do believe that setting the right intentions can potentially be a more practical tool for you if you are set on personal freedom and you value freedom very highly, right? So by setting the intentions, you allow yourself to become aware of how you want to act during the day. And by acting the right way day after day after day, you will naturally progress in the direction that you should be heading in, right? If you act according to your own core values and the intentions you set during the day, or even the intentions you set for a whole year, but it's easier if you break it down into smaller chunks, day by day by day, right? However, if you do that on a consistent basis, you will act in line with your goals and your intentions, right? The goals is also something maybe a little bit more long-term. Like, I have some financial goals, I have some lifestyle goals, and it's important to think about these goals. I have relationship goals, and setting the right intention is kind of like a smaller chunk. Like, you can also break down the large goals into smaller goals, but the intention setting, to me, it's more compelling, and I will be more likely to use that. And so that's an important distinction to make. Like, there is tons of tools out there, right? There is tons of books written about whatever topic you would want to learn more about, right? But it's about finding out the tools and the strategies that work for you, that resonate with you, that match your personality, that match your current state of mind, right? And for me right now, the intention setting is something that resonates with me the most. And so by acting in line with your intentions, with your values, with the things you want to focus on, eventually you will move in the right direction. Life will take you into the right direction. You will start to meet the right people. You will start to do the right things. You will start to find yourself in the right circumstances, because you act in line with who you are, and things will line up. It's very interesting to experience that. Like the law of attraction, it's a very interesting concept, and a lot of people are really into it. Like right now, there's a lot of people learning about it and reading about it, and there's definitely a lot of elements in the law of attraction that are very compelling and that are also very useful to apply in your own life. Like if you believe that the universe will conspire to work with you instead of against you, that changes your whole perception, right? And I made another video that talks about the power of perception. It is so powerful. Like it's incredibly powerful if you realize that by paying attention to the right things, by focusing your attention on the things that you care about, that make you feel good about yourself and others, that reinforce the goodness in the world and in people, you will notice so many different things than if you would be focusing on all the negativity and all the darkness and the sadness and the things that go wrong and the injustice, right? Because your brain has a limited capacity to focus, right? And there's a car going off, it's a little bit distracting. Your brain has a limited budget of energy, and we can only focus on very specific things. Like right now I'm focusing on creating this video, and the car was making sounds, and all of a sudden my attention gets drawn to that and I get distracted. So I cannot really do two things at the same time, right? And you probably can't either. Like there is always a payoff if you're trying to do multiple things at the same time. Like things that your motor circuits are have adopted as like automatic, right? Like riding a bicycle, for example, or maybe doing the dishes, stuff like that. They don't really require a lot of focused attention, you know, like they don't really need a lot of reasoning and thought, right? It's the same like digesting your food, for example, or walking, stuff like that. You don't really think about it. It's your body takes care of it automatically. But whenever we wanna focus our attention on something, it requires our full awareness, our full attention. And so that is very important to realize, to remember that your perception is your focus. And so you cannot focus on the negative things if you're focusing on the more good things, or the things that energize you, or the things that are important to you, right? And I'm not talking about the happy flappy positivity crowd, you know, that think that everything is supposed to be good and happy, and you know, that's not at all the case, because life inherently contains a lot of suffering and pain and obstacles. However, it's the way you perceive these things and the way you adapt and overcome the adversity, that is what's going to make you strong. That's what's going to make you push yourself and drive forward. So setting an intention to overcome these obstacles, like if you have some personal challenges, like I don't know, you want to be more productive for your work, you want to show more appreciation for your loved ones, you want to build a lean physique, you know, you want to lose some weight, setting an intention every morning can drastically improve the results you have during the day, because it will guide you in your decision-making processes. And if you meditate on it in the start of the day, you kind of like remember it, then whenever you gotta make a decision, you will remember your intention that you set during the day. And it feels a little bit weird to go against that intention, right? If you set the intention to be kind, then you will be more likely to actually be kind, because you set the intention in the beginning of the day, and otherwise there will be like some cognitive dissonance between the intentions you set and the behavior you actually show, right? So setting the intention is making it easier for you actually to make the right decisions. So I think it's a very useful, powerful tool, and I will for sure experiment with it more in the coming days, weeks, and months. And probably I will make another video about this in a few months, where I can like really talk about my personal experiences, right? If it's something that I find that really helped me achieve some of the goals that I actually want to achieve. And until then, I just want you to thank you for being brave. Thank you for looking inward. Thank you for making yourself and thus the planet a better place one step at a time. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. Talk soon. Bye.